Hello there, memers, streamers, and those with a severe lack of skill. This is Zelx here, and today, presenting to you, Evo Shadow. I've been working on this deck list for the past couple of days, and although it's not really good, it turned out to be way more fun than expected. Well, in a lot of ways. So, this is your standard Evolve list. You will want to play all of your auto-evolve followers like Blossom Beauty, Blooming Dancer, Phantom of the Strings, Deathside Hound to get to the 7 allied followers evolve breakpoint as fast as possible so your Addis and Grimnir becomes active. Well, if you still can't win the game with these two, you can try to close the game with Cornelius, and if you still can't close the game with Cornelius, you might need to look for outside help. Of course, there are two really important cards that you might want to take note of in this deck. We have Wayfaring Goblin and Mikhail. These are your only two sources of restore in this deck, so you might want to take notice of when you actually need to use them to stay healthy throughout a game, since well, this deck does not have any other sources of phase protection other than the wards that you get from Kyrie, Olivia, Sylvia, as well as Cornelius, which, well, isn't a lot. Well, you might notice that I run Phantom of the Strings and Mirror Ghost here. You might be confused as to why they are here, but trust me, they actually feel quite good to play in this deck. They aren't terrible includes, but if you want to throw them out for other cards, well, wait for the games. They will change your mind. Well, this is the QR code if you want to copy this deck. Deck list will also be in the description down below. And if you're new to the channel, remember to leave a like, leave a subscribe, and without further ado, let's get right onto the gameplay. So this is actually a very interesting game. I'll be honest first, I did not expect this game to come about, which is why, as you can see, this is in replay mode. But it is also a callback to one of the earlier videos I actually filmed this expansion, and long-time viewers of this channel will know why it is immediately the moment they play the first card. It's Hammer Dragon Newt. Chill, guys. Hold on to your seats. Hold on to the belts. Don't faint yet. It is happening. We are facing an armed dragon player, and I have Mirror Ghost in my hand. I repeat, I have Mirror Ghost in my hand. Yes, it is happening. Of course, so I'm okay. Early game, I'm really weak. I'm getting run over. Seriously, I'm just getting run over by my opponent. In fact, I'm taking a lot of damage just from the first few turns alone just to set this up. But my god, I have to try and go for it. So my opponent is getting very far ahead in terms of damage. I'm behind on the back foot. But luckily, I draw Wayfaring Goblin, and with Corral Souls, I'm able to clear the board really easily. And with the Draconic Smash that I got from Hammer Dragon Newt, I smashed his follower. And using the Draconic Weapon and Wayfaring Dragon Goblin, I evolved it to heal 3 and bring my health total up to 16. The heal here is actually really important since, well, Armed Dragon is a very aggressive deck and I don't want to die that early yet. So now, next part, he fulfilled his Armed Dragon quest already and he smashed my follower in retaliation for me smashing his follower, but it's perfectly fine. I'm okay smashing each other like this. But so of course now we have to advance our evolve quest. Originally this is an evolve list. This is why I do have to work for the evolve quest. And also partially why I decided to use Minnow instead of using Night Terrors there, even though Night Terrors can probably net me a Phantom of the Strings, which I could actually use to stole their Liberty Dragon. Ah, what a shame. They decided to go for attack form here, which I don't really agree with. They should have gone for blast form or even defense form. But since it's good for me, I'm not going to complain. So right here, I decided that, you know what? We're going to try and steal it. I have gotten Cornelius in hand, and I believe, I sincerely hope, that he will complete our Armed Followers display quest for us. Well, there is a chance that it doesn't complete it since, well, they do play non-armed followers, but I would sincerely hope that it's not the case. I only need to hit 2 followers, 2 armed dragon followers, armed followers for me to actually finish the quest. And I also even got Phantom of the Strings. That is really important. Because now I'll get to be able to steal their Liberty Dragon if they play one. So Cornelius, and through intense prayer, we managed to get 3 unfollowers, which is more than enough to complete our quest. He also played a Liberty Dragon of his own and went attack form again, which I don't understand why he should have went defense or even blast once again. But I'm not one to judge. I'm perfectly fine with this play, which just means I get more damage off. I'm happy with that. And here's the moment, guys, all of you have been waiting for. Welcome our Lord and Savior, Libertine Dragon, defense form. You will not believe how long it took to get this game. But anyways, getting our extra heal up is really essential here. I tried to look for some better cards, and we did get Minnow, which, well, is now a 5-5 with 2 damage reduction from Libertine Dragon. Our opponent is getting desperate. They don't really have an easy way to get rid of this, except with Forte, and now it's a 33% chance for them to hit the end, did they? They did not. Now, of course, it's not over for them yet. They still have a chance to actually destroy Libertine Dragon, but with this setup, they need a 4 attack follower or more. While the followers they can use is actually what I actually forgot the name already, but it doesn't matter. But they do have Anti-Barrier, and they have a severe lack of skill. Really? What a skill issue. I'm so good at this game. So yeah, this is one of those games that I was playing while testing out this deck, and I accidentally got one of the best demonstration of what this deck could do. So, if you want some... Actually, well, it doesn't count as a spoiler anyways. We are up against Bloodcraft, and Bloodcraft nowadays are running Evolve and Vengeance Hybrid. And I actually did this guy so dirty. So, of course, well, we start off with Signa. They usually have Signa is actually one of those cards that I would really like to steal with Mirror Ghost. But unfortunately, well, since it has Ambush, I can target it. But of course, that's an issue for later. For the early game, as you can see, we are just stacking up followers, getting board presence, getting shadows. Most importantly is actually to get shadows, but if you can't do that, then it's fine. Of course, I use that side here to just clear the board. It's just way too much value, even though I don't get the free evolve nor the additional damage off, but it's not necessary. And here's when the fun begins. You see how they play Dancing Mini Soul Devil. Usually it cannot be targeted by be attacked, but I stole it with Phantom of the Strings. And it gets a free evolve because Phantom of the String evolved. Note that I did not evolve that side Hound here is because his evolve effect will actually deal 4 to the entire board, clearing both of my followers, which I don't want to happen, and my opponent, of course, being my opponent, has the disgusting combo of having Garland as well as Mark Maron ready, which I'm very upset at, but it's fine. I'm alright, because I can clear the board easily with this combo, Blossom Beauty alongside Blooming Dancer, and I evolve our Wayfaring Goblin here because he heals up for 3 once he's evolved, which is actually very, very huge. In fact, this is probably one of the best decisions I made this game. And now, my opponent having the Vulgus, he decides to evolve it, get the shield up, gets himself into Vengeance permanently. I don't quite mind that actually, since, well, I'm a more control deck. And here, Cornelius would actually have been a very good play if not for the fact that he played Freya, and now I got Freya back as well as Package, which is probably one of the worst bots I ever get, which is why I didn't evolve anyone. Although I might have chosen to evolve Vulgus. I could have, but you know, it doesn't matter. So for now, this turn I really had to get my health back up. 8 health is actually really risky when my opponent is in vengeance and I don't have a way to kill him. So Ellie's Blossom Beauty, just trying to cycle through my deck, look for something that can actually save me. And I did draw a card that actually saves me, which is Wayfaring Goblin. Yes, I love this. This card is probably single-handedly keeping me alive against Vengeance Blood. Otherwise, I might have been dead just like a couple of turns ago. Look, 11 hit points. Directly into Golem. He has Golem. Like, imagine if I didn't have Wayfaring Goblin, I would have been dead. And here's the important bit. Tavani. He only evolved 3 times, but... Oh-ho? Oh-ho? I've evolved 9 times! I stole little from my opponent! Am I good at this game or what? Okay, this was also a very funny one. Well, the gameplay itself wasn't funny, but the ending surely really is. So Swordcraft, you know, nowadays, Sword isn't really in a good spot. But it's fine, I'm not playing a good deck, so they have a very high chance of winning if they are playing a semi-decent deck. So right off the bat, maybe I should have kept the Corral Soul since we did have a Mino in hand, but since we don't have that, I'm still gonna drop her on 1 to get the extra shadow. What I'm seeing right here, I'm expecting my opponent to play some Ready Sword hybrid. Then I don't really care in the early stage of the game, I can't do much anyways. So if he managed to overwhelm me and win, well, that's always the next one. But here, he played a very interesting card, Radiant Luminous Mage. Even though it doesn't do much for me since I'm going second, it is still a very annoying card for my opponent to deal with. Especially with this board. And it's also a free evolve, which is really important since, well, I'm an evolve deck. Since my opponent decided, well, you know what, this card isn't scary at all. I'm gonna make him regret it immediately since I'm gonna evolve it as well as play Blooming Dancer. This way, I get 2 evolves and he's gonna cry because he's not gonna abuse the free evolve that he can get from his Radiant Luminous Mage. On turn 5, you know what the sword is already gonna play, it's General Maximus, it's really nothing special. And right here, really critical point, they are at 8 ready, and with the morning card that they're gonna get off of Luminous Mage, they'll be at 10 ready, which means I do not want any of their board to survive. And thankfully, I have the perfect answer in the form of Deathside Hound. Perfect block clear, destroys everything, makes my opponent cry, I'm happy, pop their shield as well. So they have 1 Monica on board, they are at ready 11, I'm not expecting me to lose this turn, actually scrap that, they're at ready 12. But they played Wise and oh boy, Wise is very bad for my deck. Really bad. I mean, I do have some of a semi-answer, he didn't have a ward, so that's amazing. Which just means since I do have evolve points, I can use Grimnir's effect as well as alongside Mikael to kill off Wise before he makes my life absolutely miserable. But now, what is my opponent gonna pull out next? He played Wise, he played a lot of ward, he played Deep Sea Scout even though he's not playing Loot. What in the world is my opponent playing? Live Blade Wielder. Very interesting choice of cards. Unfortunately, it's not good enough. Since, well, I'm an evolve deck. Evolve deck has a lot of rushes. So, I simply just say, screw you, Blossom Beauty, into another Blossom Beauty, into a Wayfaring Goblin. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna play that Wayfaring Goblin. The Wayfaring Goblin is gonna be fuel for my Night Terrors, and I need the extra draw anyways. Pretty good hand. My opponent's going really slow, I have no idea what he's doing. another Luminous Mage, but he already has a Monica in hand, so basically that means that Luminous Mage does nothing. Still have 3 mana to put another card onto his board. I have no idea what he plans to play, but he plays aggressive advance instead. Summons 2/2 storms, but they do absolutely nothing. And here, cream of the crop. I topped that the best card I could have possibly topped that. I'm kidding, I didn't. But since I have 7 evolve, at least has Storm. And of course I have to abuse that Storm alongside Grimnius. Evolve 7 effect, there's just 5 to all 2 to followers and 5 to the enemy leader. I also just prepared 1 additional evolve point just in case I draw Cornelius Nexus, which would make me a really happy boy. He has Aurelia, which I'm not surprised. I would have expected Aurelia at any given point in time. I was really scared of Wise here, but fortunately for me, he does not have Wise. Unfortunate, isn't it? He has 2 Aurelia though, so if I don't clear this board, I'm dead. But unfortunate for him, Cornelius. And here is the cream of the crop. Oh! Oh! Is that your Wise I see? Oh, I mean, my Wise? That is perhaps the saddest General Maximus I've ever seen.
I must train more.
Well, I'm so sorry, mate. You do.